Hello, everybody. This is Kama with the online talk show Pursuing Your Passion. And today, my guest is Betty Tucker. She is an author of Don't Worry About the Mule Going Blind. Welcome so much to my show. Thank you for being on, Betty.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be on your show, Kama.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about your book, that title, Don't Worry About the Mule Going Blind. Give us a little bit about the book and where the title came from.
Okay. Now, this book happened for two reasons. For one reason is that when I found my twins that I had placed up for adoption in May the 30th, 1967, and I found them in April, in April, I think it was the 12th, 2009.
Wow.
And once I found these twins, my girls, I said to myself, this story has to be told. And I wanted to tell my story because I wanted to share with others that regardless of your circumstance, regardless of where you are in life, that the situation is not permanent, that you can make changes, you can pursue your passion, as long as you have breath in your body, that you have an opportunity to make the best life possible. So it's just like when I found these twins, it's like I could have given up from looking for them because I had been looking for them for over 20, maybe like a good 15 years. And sometime when you're pursuing your passion of what you want in life, you have no idea how close you are to accomplishing that goal if you give up. You may only be one step away from accomplishing whatever you want to pursue. So I wanted to share with readers and in particular women that never give up your dream. That if you believe in God and you believe in yourself, you've already accomplished over half of your desires.
Right.
The title of the book came from after living around a family that I live with now in Montgomery, Alabama. The lady, Miss Johnny May, would see me sad, and she would always tell me, don't worry about the mule going blind. Just stay on them straddle and hold the line. You just keep going. Just keep riding them. Just keep riding. Everything is going to be all right. And I think eventually I started taking that saying literally because I stopped worrying as much and I started looking forward to a better future. And if I have to say so myself, with all the challenges I faced growing up in Belle Glade, Florida, as a migrant worker, which is notorious for poverty, it's notorious for, just to give you an example, like it was 7 of us in a family. The only one of my family members who had my siblings who had graduated from high school was my oldest sister. The rest of my siblings, they had to quit school in elementary school to work to help take care of mom and each other. I had the opportunity, because of my mom, to live with my dad, and my schooling continued, and I was able to finish high school. I moved to California. I got my degree. I taught school for over 20 years. For San Francisco Unified School District. At the same time, I worked for over 20 years at the post office. Actually, when I got one job, maybe 9 months later, I got the other job. And I just was so thankful to the Lord for giving me this opportunity. I knew I wasn't going to quit one of the jobs, so I had decided, well, I'm going to have to just retire on both of them. And like I said, I worked on both for over 20 years, and I ended up having to to take early retirement because I got injured and I had to retire from both of my employers. But like I say, my journey has been very difficult. And when I look back over it, I say only by the grace of God I survived it. For example, when we first became migrant workers, my mom fell in love with this man who had a family. And so she and my daddy ended up separating. And one night when I was 12, I heard she and the man having sex. And being a 12-year-old child, you don't want your parents to be touched by anyone, even from your dad, basically. So I started crying, and my mom got so upset with me. She got up and physically kicked me out of her house when I was 12 years old. Actually, it wasn't even a house. We were living in 1.5 rooms in an apartment building. We shared the bathroom with probably 20 other family members. No, 20 other, not family members, 20 other people who lived in the building. When I was 16, probably going on 17, I was raped several times when I was in the 10th grade by a guy that was attending my same school. He was in the 12th grade, I was in the 10th, and by the time my last year in high school, I got pregnant by, not him, by another guy that I had started dating. So I graduated that June. That August, I had my daughter, and probably less than 2 or 3 weeks later, I was pregnant again. I knew then that I had dug my grave, that there's no way I was going to live the rest of my life in Belle Glade, picking beans, working in the fields, and I made a decision that would change my life forever. I decided that we were so poor during that time. I had no place to live, no skills to take care of myself or the one child I did have, and I decided then I was going to place. I didn't know it then, but when I was pregnant, I didn't know, since I had no prenatal care, but I was pregnant with twin girls. I only found out when I was delivering them in a hospital in New York, and I placed them up for adoption. I had made arrangements ahead of time to do that. But I really thought I could kind of walk away and start my life and really put that part of my life behind me. And I had no idea that placing my kids up for adoption would haunt and shame and change everything about me as a person. So like I said, I moved to California, started a family, and life was a challenge. It's been challenging all my life, but I'm glad I'm in a place now where I'm living my best life. I'm at peace with the decisions I made, and I'm just straightforward ahead. Writing Don't Worry About the Mule Going Blind was so therapeutic because it covers major areas in my life, where I was born, being a migrant worker, placing the twins up for adoption, moving to New York, and what I've learned during this journey. And I would just like to share it with others so they can learn some of the tools that I've learned during my 66 years during this journey to move forward, so they can live their best life like I feel that like I am right now.
Wow. That's a powerful story. What was that journey like? Just once you made up in your mind you were going to find your children for 15 years, that was a lot of hurt and pain.
Absolutely, Carmen. Do you know what happened when I think in like 2001, 99, 97, I, uh, I, I knew once the internet, the superhighway became available, I say, I'm going to find these kids, or they're going to find me. I just knew it then. But I spent so much money with hiring a private investigator, hiring online search engines, and it was very disappointing. I did all the things that I had read you should do when you want to reconnect with a loved one. So I wrote New York City, and I when they notified me that we have no record of you having kids here in New York, and I said, I know I'm not crazy. But they finally acknowledged the fact that, yeah, we do have your records. But what was so fascinating about this journey is before I found my own biological twins, I connected with another set in 2001. And I guess when I really come to terms with it, I in my heart, I don't see how I could I don't know how I could justify this girl being my child, because she looked at nothing like me, nothing like my family. But Sonia, she was named just like she and her twin had the same name my twins was named. So this girl and her baby's daddy, Ernesto, they moved out to California. They stayed in 2001, they stayed with me and my husband and kids. They stayed with my daughter and her husband and kids. They stayed with my son and his girlfriend. And it's amazing because I was spending so much money on, when she arrived in California, she had 2 kids and she was pregnant with a 3rd one. And she had her baby's daddy, She was an adult dancer in adult nightclubs and stuff like that. But, I had retired, and, I had to go back to work to support them.
Oh, wow.
But, so the journey was hard, but I learned so much from it. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, this was in 2001. Actually, Sonia, we still have somewhat of a relationship now. But when I did the DNA test, it said this child is 99.9% not your child.
Whoa.
Yeah. And my son said, Mama, the next time you need to do the DNA before you start spending money.
Right. Right.
So when I connected with my real biological twins in 2009, the first thing I did was did a DNA test. But when we exchanged pictures through our phones, it was like looking at my own reflection.
Wow.
This girl looked just like me. She has ways just like me, Wow. And it's been fascinating connecting with my twins. However, one will not talk to me, but I am not worried about her now. I'm just happy that one does. And I still plan to do whatever it takes to reach out to the other twin, Tanya. I know she's in a lot of pain also. She was the one who never gave up her mom coming to get her. Even her twin told me that when they were growing up, she would tell the lady who was their foster mother, but who eventually adopted them, that my mama gonna come get me, So I know with our DNA makeup and my family history that we're definitely sensitive people, and sometimes it takes more for us to heal than it does others.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's a beautiful thing that you were able to reconnect, and you know what? The title of your book, "Don't Worry About the Mule Going Blind." So you got to keep pushing.
That's right.
doesn't just stop right here. You
That's
keep,
right.
because that'll just bring forth another book for you. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely, absolutely. And you
every,
know what? What's so fascinating about these twins, Carmen? When I'm connected with them, they were like maybe like 42, and these girls had never been married, never had any kids, and never been in a relationship, no kind of long-term relationship with a man or a woman. But when I connected with Sonia in 2009, do you know, I can sense that because of our relationship that we have, we try to talk at least twice a month, and we try to text at least once a week. And but Sonia got married January the 31st, 2014 of this year, and she found her soulmate.
wow,
Yes, yes,
wow,
and they are similar. They got, it's like they were meant to be.
wow,
They got personality and ways just alike, so they complement each other.
wow,
Yes,
wow. Well,
yes.
you know what? Congratulations to you for even being able to find your daughter. Some people, they're not as blessed as that. So congratulations to you.
Thank
Um,
you.
well, we're going to go ahead and wrap the interview up. But before I do, let everyone know how they can get a copy of your book.
Sure. My book is available on Amazon. It's $9.99. It's available on CreateSpace, Barnes and Noble, or Books A Million, and various book and martyr stores online.
Okay. All right. And do you want to leave something with the audience before I let you go?
Sure. I just want my message is all about, you know, doing what is necessary to live a good life. Just try harder. Do things to believe in yourself. Uh, don't just accept the situation if you're not happy with it. You can make a difference in your life. All you got to do is just try.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Well,
Thank you.
thank you again so much for being on my show. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed the time that I had with you. And for those that are watching, for more information, you can go to kamaspeaks.com. You can also follow me on all of my social media pages. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, all under Kama Speaks. And you can also subscribe to watch more great interviews on For Sale by Kama on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, no matter what you do in life, always pursue your passion.